Stream. Let's get started today. We've got a special session today on we'll be solving one cat reading comprehension. That's something that we'll be doing. Power pack session, lots of things to discuss. Just waiting for you guys to join in. And once you guys are here, then we get started and then we start rolling, right? That's what we start doing. Let's see who all have joined in. Hi Vaishnavi, good evening, good to see you here. Hi Pankit. Hi Kratika. Great to see you guys here. Good evening all. We'll just wait for another minute or so, right? And then we'll get started. Once people join in, that's something that we'll do. How is it that we would be going about today's session? You guys will find, you will discover today a very different way of tackling reading comprehensions, right? I have a unique methodology wherein I like to dig deep and I like to understand concepts and I like to derive as much knowledge as we can from the given contexts. So I do not believe in superficial reading. I do not believe in superficial content consumption. So based on those principles, we'll have a discussion around one reading, one RC. And we realize that this is so much wonderful stuff to learn from everything that we encounter that we can really significantly enhance our knowledge with every reading comprehension that we solve. So these are things that we'll be doing today. I'm really excited to take up this exercise with you guys and ensure that you guys learn this new methodology or a new way of going about reading comprehensions. So that's something that we are going to do. And one request from all those who've joined in, Vaishnavi, Pankit, Kratika, Pravesh, please spread the word, ask your friends to join in as well. Wherever you can spread the link, please make sure you spread the link so that as many people who can benefit from this particular session, they benefit from this particular session, right? We can maximize the benefit from this session. So that's something that we should try to do. And having all of you here in the session would be very helpful, right? Hi Neeru, how are you? Great to see all of you here, right? So let's get started. Now hi Navdeep, great to see you here. Great that you've joined, right? So now that all of you are here, great, let's get started. Let's dig into this RC passage, right? What is it that we'll be studying today? What I've done is I've taken up an actual cat RC, right? And an actual cat RC, which is which will have its complications, which will have its difficult questions. So we are going to solve those. So you are going to be challenged today. So wo to hoga. But there is also one very interesting, unique detour that we are going to take in this session. I hope you love that detour. एक अलग सा तरीका है कुछ चीज़ें समझने का, तो वो हम उसकी ज़रूर आज कोशिश करने वाले हैं. So ये आज के हमारे सेशन का एजेंडा है. Let's get started and let's dig into, without wasting any further time, let's dig into our content for today. Let's do that. ठीक है. उससे पहले एक छोटा सा स्पेशल अनाउंसमेंट हम लोगों ने आज प्रॉमिस किया था, तो ये हमने चीज़ आज लाइव कर दी है. सो वी जस्ट लॉन्च्ड अ पोर्टल gk365.in. इस पे स्पेशल फीचर है तुम लोगों के लिए, राइट? आर्टिकल्स तो है ही है, डेली जीके, डेली करंट अफेयर्स फ्री, कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल्स ऑन अ डेली बेसिस जो न्यूज़ को कवर करते हैं, वो सब तो है ही है. प्लस उसके साथ साथ पॉडकास्ट्स हैं, राइट? Most importantly, what you will see is you will have podcasts which will विच विल हेल्प यू कंज्यूम दैट कंटेंट, है ना, ऑन द गो। सो पॉडकास्ट से ही तुम, अब तुम्हें, हम कई बार क्या होता है, फैक्ट है, मतलब मैं तो अपनी खुद की पर्सनल स्टोरी शेयर कर रहा हूँ, जीके पढ़नी काफ़ी बोरिंग हो जाती है, कौन वही सब फैक्ट्स कंज्यूम करता रहे। सो अब व्हेन यू आर ऑन द गो, व्हेन यू आर ट्रैवलिंग इन द जिम, व्हेन यू आर probably say traveling in the metro or taking an Uber ride, whenever you have a break, you can listen to this content through podcasts. So slowly and steadily, 10 to 15 minutes a day, you contribute to gk365.in and your knowledge will keep on increasing. Hi Ankush, hi Mayank, hi Naresh, good to see you guys here. So तुम्हारी अपने आप knowledge increase होने लग जाएगी. So this is one new feature that we've released today. So I hope you guys love this initiative of ours and start consuming this particular content, right? So let's get started. Which is the passage that we have today? ये एक ऐसा टॉपिक है which has been super excited, super charged up. ये CAT 2024 का पैसेज है, राइट? और ये बेस्ड है आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस पे. मैं अगर सिर्फ फर्स्ट लुक पे, जस्ट ऑन द फर्स्ट लुक ऑब्जर्व करूं, तो इस पर टॉपिक्स कौन से हैं? एआई का टॉपिक है, राइट? एआई आता है, ह्यूमन राइट्स मुझे दिखता है, बहुत बड़ा बड़ा मुझे ये दिखता है, मुझे अमेरिकन प्रेसिडेंशियल रेस दिखती है, मुझे दिखता है यार ये कुछ ना कुछ एआई के पंगों के बारे में तो बात करेगा, राइट? सो ये पैसेज मुझे इतना ब्रॉडली स्पीकिंग दिख जाता है, ये आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस पे है, इसके आसपास घूमेगा. देखा जाए तो यार एआई इज़ द हॉट टॉपिक ऑफ 2024 एंड 2025. चैट जीपीटी आया है, उसने दुनिया बदल दी है. दुनिया काफ़ी अच्छे तरीक़ों से भी बदली है, काफ़ी लोगों को काम नहीं करना पड़ रहा अब, ठीक है? और जो लोग पहले कुछ लिख नहीं पाते थे, उनके लिए लिखना आसान हो गया है, ठीक है? शॉर्टकट तो काफ़ी दे दिए हैं चैट जीपीटी ने, कुछ सही है कुछ गलत है, सो वो चीज़ें आने लग गई. और वैसे बच्चे काफ़ी इन्जॉय कर रहे हैं स्कूल का आजकल, अपना होमवर्क वहीं से कर लेते हैं, सो वो भी एक छोटे मोटे फ़ायदे हैं. एंड इंटरेस्टिंगली दिस पर्टिकुलर पैसेज इज गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट दिस फैक्ट, राइट, दैट स्टूडेंट्स डू दिस. सो ये सारी चीज़ें इसमें होने वाली हैं. ये इतना लंबा पैसेज है, 5 पैराग्राफ्स है, राइट? माई वे ऑफ एक्सप्लेनिंग दिस इज द फर्स्ट RC पैसेज दैट वी आर डूइंग इन अ लाइव सेशन, एंड विल बी डूइंग numerous RC passages during the rest of the year. My way of doing RCs is very simple, right? I would make sure that I explain the whole context to you, the background information. I'll read this out with you guys and explain the content, help you make notes, right? And give you background information side by side, right? So ये 2 चीज़ें करने वाला हूँ. और तीसरा, हम क्वेश्चन तो सॉल्व करने ही वाले हैं. तो एक 3 स्टेप प्रोसेस होगा जहाँ तुम्हें कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव अंडरस्टैंडिंग मिलेगी किसी भी पैसेज की. नीरू का क्वेश्चन है, सर मैंने 2 बार कैट दिया है पर क्लियर नहीं हो पा रहा है, कोई सजेशन है? आपको नीरू सबसे पहली चीज़ जो करनी चाहिए है, अपना एक दोनों अटेम्प्ट्स का ब्रूटल एनालिसिस करिए, ठीक है? देखिए कि कहाँ कहाँ शॉर्टकमिंग्स थी, ठीक है? हम बार बार कई बार हम स्टक हो जाते हैं कि हम बार बार एक एग्ज़ाम देते रहते हैं, 1 बार 2 बार 3 बार हम देते रहते हैं, बट प्रेशर बिल्ड होता रहता है और हम जेन्युइन जहाँ इम्प्रूवमेंट करनी चाहिए वहाँ हम नहीं कर पाते. तो आपको तीनों एरिया, ठीक है, LRDI, कॉन्ट, VARC और इनके सारे सब टॉपिक्स का एक डिटेल्ड एनालिसिस बनाना पड़ेगा और उसमें देखना पड़ेगा कि कहाँ तो आप, वेयर वर यू मिसिंग, what is it that you got wrong, right? So ये चीज़ें तुम्हें करनी पड़ेंगी. जब ये चीज़ें करोगे तभी पता चलेगा यार कि यहाँ गड़बड़ थी, यहाँ नहीं थी. फिर एक एक चीज़ को करके फिक्स करो, 1 at a time. फिक्स एक ही प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है एट अ टाइम. सो प्रॉब्लम्स आइडेंटिफाई करो और एक एक एरिया, एक एक टॉपिक जो वीक है उसको फिक्स करना शुरू करो. हाय संपत, आई एम गुड, हाउ आर यू? ग्रेट टू सी यू हियर टुडे, right? So this is something that we'll be doing. We'll be covering this whole passage, we'll be discussing it. That's something that we'll be doing. And hi Mandal, but along with this, now there was, मैंने स्टार्ट में बोला था यार तुम्हें कि एक स्पेशल चीज़ करने वाला हूँ आज तुम लोगों के लिए, और अब वो टाइम आ गया है वो स्पेशल चीज़ करने का. वो स्पेशल चीज़ क्या है, राइट? बहुत उसमें एक्चुअली क्या करना चाहिए डिटेल में, डेप्थ में, है ना, क्या क्या सीखना चाहिए, हम नहीं करते हैं. हम वी जस्ट स्टॉप शॉर्ट, हम क्वेश्चंस और उसके एनालिसिस तक ही रुक जाते हैं. पर एक और लेयर है जो तुम्हें अपनी प्रिपरेशन में ऐड करनी है, और वो लेयर आज मैं तुम्हारे को ऐड करवाऊंगा प्रिपरेशन में, राइट। पहली लेयर, ये जो आर्टिकल है एक्चुअली ये लिखा है, ये कैट का एक्चुअल पैसेज है, एक्चुअल पैसेज, और इसका सोर्स है द इकोनॉमिस्ट, राइट। इकोनॉमिस्ट इज वन ऑफ द लीडिंग पब्लिकेशंस इन द वर्ल्ड, राइट। इकोनॉमिक्स की मैगजीन है, बहुत ही प्रीमियम सोर्स है, राइट। और ये लिखा है युवल नोआ हरारी ने। किसने इनका नाम सुना है, युवल नोआ हरारी का? अगर किसी ने सुना है इनका नाम, कोई लोग हैं जिन्होंने इनका नाम पहले सुना हो? काफी लोग, तुम्हारे लिए ये फर्स्ट टाइम सुन रहे होंगे। युवल नोआ हरारी आज के डेट के कंटेम्प्रेरी 21st सेंचुरी के वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंकर्स हैं। ही इज़ एन इजरायली, ही इज़ अ हिस्टोरियन, इंटेलेक्चुअल, पॉपुलर साइंस राइटर। ये एक हिस्ट्री है और डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ हिस्ट्री के प्रोफेसर हैं जेरूसलम में, और इनका काम काफ़ी ज़्यादा फेमस हुआ है। ये न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स बेस्ट सेलर हैं, एंड इनकी बुक सेपियंस अ ब्रीफ हिस्ट्री ऑफ ह्यूमन काइंड is actually a must read for everyone, right? Even for people preparing for CAT, even at this stage जब time limited है। ये एक किताब है जो तुम्हारा वर्ल्ड व्यू कंप्लीटली चेंज कर देगी। बहुत ही बढ़िया तरीके से इन्होंने ह्यूमन हिस्ट्री को कवर किया है इस किताब में। इज वन ऑफ माय फेवरेट बुक्स, यू शुड मोस्ट डेफिनेटली गो थ्रू इट। कैट से पहले अगर तुमने पढ़ लिया तो बहुत बढ़िया है, नहीं पढ़ पाए तो कैट के बाद ज़रूर इस बुक को टाइम देना, शुड बी इन योर टू डू लिस्ट। ये एक चीज़ मेरी तरफ से बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग रिकमेंडेशन है। और बुक रिकमेंडेशंस में ना एक चीज़ हमेशा याद रखना, बुक रिकमेंडेशंस मेरे लिए दो ही तरीके से काम करती हैं। या तो बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग रिकमेंडेशन होनी चाहिए अच्छी, या बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग रिकमेंडेशन होनी चाहिए बुरी, तभी आप मोटिवेटेड होते हो उस बुक को पढ़ने के लिए। सो ये एक चीज़ आपको करनी चाहिए, ठीक है। तो ये था पहला पार्ट कि ये पैसेज लिखा किसने, आपने ये छोटी सी रिसर्च करी। सेकंड, अब हम इस पैसेज के रिलेटेड, बिफोर वी गेट इनटू द पैसेज इटसेल्फ, I want to explain to you 5 terms related to artificial intelligence. ये एक नया तरीका है पढ़ने का. This is a new methodology to study, right? Now, how do we go about it? पहली term, technological singularity. मैं इसका I will read out the dictionary definition और फिर मैं इसका एक simplified meaning तुम्हें बताऊंगा. A hypothetical point in the future when technological growth becomes uncontrollable and irreversible, resulting in unfathomable changes to human civilization, usually triggered by surpassing human intelligence. Technical singularity को अगर तुमने visualize करना है ना, imagine करो हमारी human knowledge over a period of time बढ़ती रहती है. सारे लोग एग्री करोगे, हम पिछले 100 साल में, उससे पिछले 500 साल में, उससे पिछले 1000 साल में हमारी नॉलेज बढ़ती गई है. तो अगर ये टाइमलाइन ऑफ नॉलेज है तो ये नॉलेज इस टाइमलाइन के साथ बढ़ती जा रही है. हर एक चेक पॉइंट पे ह्यूमन नॉलेज बढ़ती जा रही है, ठीक है. और लेट्स इमेजिन ये हमारा नॉलेज का फ्रंटियर है, ये हमारा नॉलेज का बैरियर है, ये हमारी ह्यूमन नॉलेज की लिमिट है, राइट. टेक्नोलॉजिकल सिंगुलैरिटी पता कौन सा पॉइंट है? जब आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इस पॉइंट पे पहुंच जाएगी, राइट. अब इस चीज़ को बहुत 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 ध्यान से समझना, बहुत ध्यान से समझना. ये तुम्हारे लिए लाइफ में बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट लर्निंग होने वाली है. मोस्टली लोग ये नहीं समझाते हैं. यार, ह्यूमन बीइंग्स ने ये नॉलेज कितने टाइम पीरियड में इकट्ठी करी है? हाउ लॉन्ग हैज इट टेकन मैनकाइंड टू अक्यूमुलेट दिस इंफॉर्मेशन? हाउ लॉन्ग? Think about it. The answer is fascinating. The whole of human life, the whole of mankind, बहुत स्लो पेस पे हमने नॉलेज गैदर करी है. रैपिड एस्केलेशन तो पिछले 200-300 साल में हुआ है. उससे पहले हम हंटर गैदरर्स थे, एग्रीगेरियन सोसाइटी में गए, धीरे 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 हमने नॉलेज गेन करते गए, राइट. एग्रीड. पर टेक्नोलॉजी क्या उसी स्पीड से सीख रहा है क्या? टेक्नोलॉजी, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस उस स्पीड से नहीं सीख रहा, राइट. सो टेक्नोलॉजी, वैष्णवी नॉट एन इशू, आई विल एक्सप्लेन इन इंग्लिश एज वेल, राइट. सो अगर हमारा, सो इफ यू थिंक अबाउट इट, द होल हिस्ट्री ऑफ मैनकाइंड, राइट, has learnt. यहाँ पे this point of our knowledge, collective knowledge, consists of all of our time span on this planet. Is artificial intelligence learning at the same speed? No, it is not learning at the same speed. It is learning much, much faster. And there is a point which has been envisaged in the future. एक visualize किया गया है point. There's a point which has been visualized in the future where this knowledge, artificial intelligence, will surpass human knowledge. That point is the point of technological singularity. There will be a singular point of knowledge between human beings and artificial intelligence, cannot be differentiated. Who is ahead of whom? That is the beautiful concept of technological singularity. Now, relevance to the passage, this passage hints at a moment where AI begins creating stories, laws, cultures better than humans. This is a tipping point where AI's evolution escapes human control, paralleling the idea of singularity. So ये एक point है जिसपे singularity आपका dominate कर सकता है. That is the point that the passage is going to imply. Right? Next term, cultural singularity. We'll not spend as much time on this because this is just a related term. Technological singularity was the point where AI became as intelligent as human beings or surpassed human beings. Cultural singularity, a proposed moment in human history where artificial intelligence overtakes humans in the creation and evolution of culture, stories, religions, laws, ideologies, thereby redefining what it means to be human. If you think about it, who has defined all the laws, religion, cultures on this particular planet? Think about it, it is a social construct. It has been constructed by human beings. हमने सारे religion बनाए हैं, हमने सारे laws बनाए हैं. We have created all the laws, we've created the religions, we've created the social structure and social order. Now, if AI starts to do this, then that is the point of cultural singularity. When AI becomes so powerful, that begins to happen. Unlike past tools, AI creates new cultural content. Imagine AI is not only, if you think about it, right, that AI right now, most of ChatGPT is based on our knowledge and it is just recirculating what is fed to it, right? But what if it reaches a point where it starts creating its own reality? That point is technological and cultural singularity. Next, narrative hacking. Now, narrative hacking is something which you should know in a political context as well. It's a very important term. When our narratives hacked, right? The strategic manipulation of public opinion and identity by altering or flooding the narrative space, especially through tools like AI that can generate fake news, propaganda, or personalized persuasive content. Do all of you agree that we suffer in the modern day social media world? We suffer from the problem of fake news. Do all of you agree? We suffer from the problem of fake news. We get motivated by it. And there are going to be, remember, all classes cannot be fun and games. There are going to be some very serious concepts that we are going to study here, right? There are going to be some sessions where we'll have fun, but there are some sessions where I like to change your outlook in life, right? This is one of those sessions. Would you guys agree that fake news dominates a lot of, say, for example, elections, right? Cambridge Analytica scam, Guri, absolutely brilliant example, right? So fake news does dominate elections. It does change the narrative of the elections. Now, if there is a lot of fake news circulating in the market, if your media is biased, if your media is trying to scam you, what is it that they are trying to hack? That is called narrative hacking. The narrative is being hacked. And if AI begins to hack narratives, then AI can start selling us anything it wants, right? So that is a scary situation. The passage warns of mass-produced political propaganda, even AI-written scriptures for cults, classic signs of narrative manipulation at scale. So these are things which can happen, right? Next thing, synthetic intimacy. Now, this is another very interesting concept with the world of AI. Artificial emotional closeness generated by non-human agents like AI chatbots, often mimicking empathy or human bonding to influence behavior. In fact, one of the articles that I was reading today, Sam Altman, the founder of ChatGPT, spoke about how people are using AI for therapy. And they are going and sharing all their problems with AI, all their psychological problems. वो जाके वहाँ पे सारे लिख देते हैं. And he want users कि वो चैट जीपीटी वो डेटा पढ़ रहा है, सो आप अपनी प्राइवेट से प्राइवेट प्रॉब्लम्स अगर चैट जीपीटी को बता रहे हो तो रिस्क तो है, आप अपना पर्सनल डेटा सारा शेयर कर रहे हो चैट जीपीटी के साथ, राइट? बट पीपल हैव स्टार्टेड यूजिंग AI for having those discussions. In fact, a lot of people, this is a, now I don't know whether this is sad or humorous, okay? I will leave it up to you, but a lot of people have made ChatGPT their girlfriends, right? People who can't, who don't have anyone to talk to ChatGPT as if it's their girlfriend. So that is also something which is happening, right? And that is, see, that's reflective of what? That is an example of synthetic intimacy. When you are talking to ChatGPT as if it is a human being, it's not, right? So that is artificial emotional closeness. Relevance to the passage: to foster fake intimacy with humans, it is enough if the AI can make them feel emotionally attached to it. So if AI can fake emotional attachment, it gives you synthetic intimacy. Just look at the beauty of these concepts, right? These are 5, there's one more bonus concept. Just imagine these bonus concepts, how beautiful each one of these is. Last term, epistemic crisis. This is the toughest one, so hence I wrote it a little separately as a bonus term. Epistemology in philosophy is a very important term. It's a term that you should know. It's one of the toughest terms, right? Epistemology is the study of knowledge. How do we know what we know? Think about this line for a second. Just think about it on a personal level. Just think about this line. How do we know what we know? So how do you know whether the knowledge that you have is actually true or not? The study of knowledge is epistemology, arriving at whether what we know is valid or not. That is what epistemology is. When AI-generated content floods public discourse with falsehoods and distortions, our ability to know what is real or credible breaks down. This is an epistemic crisis, a crisis of knowledge itself. So if we have a lot of AI knowledge which is fake, which is distortionary in nature, we will have a knowledge crisis. The technical term for that would be epistemic crisis. That is something that we will be suffering from. Now, if you think about it, we've studied the concept of singularity, technological singularity, cultural singularity, synthetic intimacy, epistemic crisis. These are, and we had one more term that we covered, narrative hacking, right? We covered 5 such important terms, right? Now, what is, if you think about this, right? And I want all of you to pause for a second and think about this here, right? This is something which is very important. Even when I was making this session, I had no idea that how much time will it take, right, to consume or to go through this content, right? Now, if you think about this particular aspect of preparation, and this is a genuine question, I want all of you to answer. If you start learning all these things, if you start learning all these concepts are not vocabulary, agreed? ये words तो नहीं है. This is not vocabulary. हाँ या ना? Vocabulary है क्या ये? सिर्फ क्या मैंने तुम्हारे ऊपर सिर्फ words फेंके? क्या मैंने तुम्हें सिर्फ impress करने की कोशिश करी कि यार मैं बड़े बड़े words बोल देता हूँ, 4 word बोल देता हूँ एक लाइन में, बच्चे को समझ तो आएगा नहीं, impress हो जाएगा? करते हैं लोग ऐसे? VRC तो यही है ना, वर्ड बोल दो बस, वर्ड के ऊपर वर्ड के ऊपर वर्ड. These are not words, these are hard concepts, exactly, right? In fact, even instead of saying hard concepts, I'll say these are core, this is core conceptual knowledge, right? Now, why did I put this in? Imagine you are reading a passage on artificial intelligence and you already know what is singularity, what is cultural singularity, what is narrative hacking, what is epistemic crisis, what is epistemology in philosophy. It is the study of knowledge. How do we know what we know? All of this comes together, right? People keep asking me this question. In fact, this question was asked to me yesterday. I could not answer it. It was, I don't remember the name of the students. I apologize for that. This question was asked that how do we eliminate between two answer choices, right? This question was asked that we generally get stuck with two answer choices in reading comprehensions and we are not able to eliminate those, right? Now, when you think about it, the elimination of answer choice is also in reading comprehensions. How many of you struggle with this problem, right? How many of you struggle with this problem? Where you can eliminate two answer choices and you cannot eliminate the other two answer choices. In reading comprehensions, this is the most common problem in RCs. In the last 18 years, if one problem that I've heard ad nauseum, and this is your homework, this is a Latin phrase that you yourself are going to understand. I will give you pointers, but I'll not spoon feed everything. Spoon feeding is a pretty destructive way of learning, right? So there are things that you've got to learn on your own as well. So a Latin phrase that you are going to learn is ad nauseum. It has the word nausea in it. So that's your homework for today. In the next session, I'm going to ask how many of you went through this particular term, right? Now, when you struggle with elimination of two answer choices, right? You eliminate two and you are left with two. Actually, and people will talk about all kinds of tricks, techniques, do this, do that to eliminate those options. It's actually a matter of comprehension. It's a matter of understanding what those lines say. Because we often look at reading comprehension, we think that the passage is the comprehension bit. No, the passage is only one half of comprehension, right? The second half is comprehension of answer choices. You need to comprehend answer choices as well. So it's comprehension of the passage, comprehension of the answer choices. When you combine the two, that is when you arrive at your correct ability, your ability to comprehend contexts, right? So we'll work on these things. And how do you comprehend better, right? I have this simple universal rule of comprehending better. Learn these terms. Increase your knowledge base. I said yesterday as well that I'm going to repeat two things always in my sessions. One, focus on the process, right? And second, build your knowledge base. KB is short form. My handwriting is so special that it's advisable I write in short forms, right? So build your knowledge base. Two things that you always do: focus on the process and build your knowledge base. How do you build your knowledge base? You go through these terms, right? And your next question should be, how do we find these terms, right? And one thing, no one today asked me, how do we find these terms in reading comprehensions? You guys did not ask me this question. सवाल तो ये था जो तुम्हें पूछना चाहिए था, पर तुमने पूछा नहीं. अगर पूछा नहीं तो तुम सो रहे हो. सो रहे हो क्या? एनर्जी ड्रिंक लेके आ जाते कोई? How do we find these terms? देखो भाई, सिंपल फंडा है, चैट जीपीटी का जमाना है, ठीक है? You don't need to work hard a lot, right? Just give the passage to ChatGPT, ask it कि यार इसमें से मुझे most important terms and concepts समझा दो, right? इसमें से जो deeper concepts हैं आप वो मुझे समझा दो. That's it. As simple as that. That's it. That's all you've got to do with RC passages. Tell it to explain what are the important concepts that can be learned from this passage. That's all you've got to do, right? And if you do that, you learn these important concepts. So that's how simple it is. Learning in 2025, if you want to learn in the year 2025, it's actually very easy. ChatGPT is by far, I love AI, right? I make no bones about it. I don't hide the fact that I love AI. But if you use AI constructively and if you use it to learn, it is an absolutely brilliant, awesome tool to learn, right? It can aid and abet learning in ways which have never happened before, something that can be done. And that is what I want you guys to do as well, right? So that's something that we can do. So these were your 5 terms that we learned from this particular passage, right? 5 things that we learned from this particular passage. Now we've got the full passage in front of us and the 4 questions. What we'll do for the passage and the questions is, how many of you are added to our WhatsApp update groups? How many of you are added to our WhatsApp updates group, where we send these class notifications? I know Vaishnavi is added there. I know Pankit is there. I know quite a few of you are there. DeepSeek is also good, Navdeep. Okay. Vaishnavi, you don't have to do it for every passage. Some passages you will realize they have that depth. Some passages you don't need to do it, right? We'll just share that WhatsApp number in the chat itself. I'll ask one of my team members to share that number. Just drop a message on that number and we will add you to the group, right? We'll add you to the group so that you can get notified, right? So now what we'll do is, because we've already spent, I'll be very honest with you, I did not realize that it will take me 30 minutes just to explain these 5 terms, right? I had no such inkling that that is going to happen, that it will take me 30-35 minutes to explain this term, right? Now what we'll do is, we will continue this class tomorrow from exactly this point onwards. I'll send this assignment, right, on the WhatsApp group, the passage and the 4 questions. You guys will solve it before coming to the class, right? We meet at 7 p.m. tomorrow. We continue from this point onwards. The verbal ability class, we'll have it on Monday, right? We are meeting every day here. And you solve this passage, right? And we'll discuss these 4 questions. It's going to take us 1 hour to discuss the passage and the questions. So before we come to class, so as a rule, what I'll start doing is that I'll start sending these assignments before I'll start sending these assignments on the day of the class itself. So whatever we are discussing, you have it in the PDF form. I think that's something that we can do on the WhatsApp and the Telegram group. We'll send it both on the WhatsApp and the Telegram group. Or you can go to the Word Pandit homepage and click on the WhatsApp button. So if you go to the Word Pandit homepage, click on the WhatsApp button, you will directly reach the WhatsApp group, right? So this is just the start. I just wanted to introduce you guys to this method of learning, right? Tara, Vaishnavi, Guri, Mandal, Lake, right? Navdeep. I just wanted Voyager Designs. I just wanted you guys to be introduced that this is also one method of studying reading comprehensions. This is not a method which is taught. This is not a method which is because I'll be honest with it, this is a method which requires a little bit of hard work on the educator's behalf as well, right? So this is not just solving previous year questions and that's it. Just solve a question and move ahead, right? So what we'll be doing is we will have a discussion around this, right, tomorrow. Vaishnavi will have all kinds of RC passages. First, we'll cover this RC passage tomorrow. The agenda for tomorrow and day after, guys, all of you, and I would want, please, one particular help from you guys who are here tonight, right? We've reached around 20 to 25 live learners who've joined us today, right? My very kind request to all of you, please send it across to your friends, send the assignment across to your friends, everyone who's preparing for CAT, let them know that the Fat Bald Man teaches at 7 p.m. and they can connect with me, they can discuss stuff. So please spread the word, right? I am totally and absolutely dependent upon you guys for this, right? So you do that, I'll keep bringing quality content for you. That's something that I'll keep doing. I'll keep putting in the hard work. You just help me spread the word, right? That's something that we can do. So tomorrow we start off with this particular passage, and day after tomorrow on Monday, we will do the strategy for VA. How to approach verbal ability, what is the strategy for preparation. That is what we cover on Monday, right? So Monday we cover the strategy for verbal ability. Tomorrow we cover this passage. You will get this passage tomorrow morning on the WhatsApp group. I'll send it across as a PDF. So we'll have this passage as well. We'll do a quick revision for 5 minutes tomorrow, and then we will solve this particular passage. That's something that we'll be doing. Generally, we'll limit all our YouTube sessions to 45 minutes to 1 hour. I think that's sufficient time for covering things. So that's what we'll do. And we'll try to, whenever I have these knowledge sessions, I think I'll plan a little better where we can plan them accordingly, that this is the duration of the session wherever we want. Longer session. A prep plan session, absolutely. Let's do it on Tuesday. Let's do the prep plan session for the whole season on Tuesday. Let's do how to prepare for verbal ability on Monday. And let's do a CAT VARC prep plan on Tuesday. We'll create the links tomorrow itself. Will you guys help me spread the word? Mock analysis, Tara, I'll take a separate session. How to analyze VARC mocks. And we'll actually pick up one mock and I'll analyze it in a live class for you. So that I'll do separately. So we'll take up how to prepare for VARC on Tuesday in a live session. Done? Our agenda is set. So please send it across to your friends. Please let them know that Tuesday we are having the VARC strategy session. Monday we are having the verbal ability strategy session. And we'll keep meeting here. We'll keep having these sessions, keep discussing this stuff, keep learning these things. So that's something that we'll be doing. Also, one more thing, please do log in to GK365 today. Do check out the website. Do send me messages. How do you love our work? And how do you find it? Good, bad, ugly? You are absolutely free. You are a free individual. We live in a democratic country. So you should be free to express your opinions. But make sure you do send your opinions to us. Wherever we can, we will love to make improvements, right? Our objective, as the t-shirt says, that our objective is, we are passionate about learning. Our passion is to educate. And that is something that I deeply believe in, and that is my mission. So please help me do that. Thank you very much for joining in today. Let's see you guys at 7 p.m. tomorrow. No, tomorrow we'll have Vaishnavi. We'll cover this particular passage. Right, we'll cover this particular passage. It will be a 1 hour session, 1 hour or 1 hour 10 minutes. I think it will take us to complete the passage. So we'll have that. Right. Chalo. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining in today, for being present today. Hope to see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye for now. See you guys tomorrow.